I'm here with Miss Carol Myers. Exactly when and where were you born?
Well, I was born in Horton, Texas, and the when part is coming as a surprise that you're asking that, but my birthday is June 30th.
Okay.
Okay.
um, what made you choose to go to Texas Southern?
Well, I was like the valedictorian in my class, and I got a full time 4 year scholarship to attend either Pearl Review or Texas Southern, and I chose TSU.
Um, what did you study when you were at TSU?
Well, I first went in as a pre law major and very soon changed my mind. Um, and I switched over to an English major. So that was what I did my bachelor BA in English at TSU, and then I later came back and took the required courses for education certification as a teacher.
Um, what year did you graduate, and did you have like any activities you were in while you were at TSU?
Okay, I graduated TSU and finally, I mean, the last year of that comeback, I officially graduated in August of 1965, and then I came back the next year to do some education classes, and that was in, summer 1966.
Hmm. And were you in any activities at TSU? Any organizations?
Um, yeah, a few. I wasn't really an organization person. Um, I was a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, aka was my sorority. Did that quite a lot, and mainly that was the organization that I enjoyed being involved with the most.
Hmm.
Mhm.
How do you feel TSU prepared you for where you are now?
Well, I got a good, solid, really basic education in the language arts. As I said, I was an English major uh, at TSU. I got my minor was French, and so as soon as I graduated, I moved to Chicago, and I was confident enough with what I had learned at TSU to feel that I could take on a high school English uh, teaching job, and I'd usually do a split program of English and French, and I felt pretty much like I could handle it. I felt prepared for my TSU, preparation, and I just went on out there and did it.
um, what memories do you remember most, or U.S. history, or moments in U.S. history that you recall experiencing while you were at TSU?
Well, I told a class of mine, say a few years ago, I've been retired now for quite a while, but I told the kids that I had seen Martin Luther King speak at TSU, and they just about fainted. And I just followed, I said, well, I didn't say that I saw Abraham Lincoln speak, because that seems so far away, so long ago to kids. Say that was probably 1962, 63, and they thought that was, well, actually it was another century, but I remember that as being a really special kind of history event. And of course, like, it was just during the time of um, the sit-ins and all of the civil rights movement things were going on at that time, and TSU students were much involved in things like sit-ins down at the Woolworth store in Houston, downtown Houston. Now, I personally did not engage in any of those activities. You might say I was just kind of, I don't know, I just did not really participate. Um, I was just kind of, maybe a little bit afraid to be involved in that kind of thing. But then later, well, I'll go when we get to another question. I'll say some of the other things, but these things were not at TSU because anyway, I was just kind of a little bit ahead of some of the things in the civil rights movement. But I moved to Chicago, and like I said, I immediately got a teaching job over there. And I remember things like when West Side Chicago was burning, and I was working at a high school in Chicago, and students were doing a sit-in where they would sit in the hallway and would not let the teachers out of the teachers' lounge. Well, we didn't have any particular complaint about that because we kind of, not conference period, we were, doing some work related to our students and grading papers and that kind of thing. But since they wanted to sit us in, well, we just kind of, spent that time just really enjoying and socializing and playing a little bit of games of cards. And it was not so bad. But anyway, a lot of flag burning and unrest in Chicago during those years, let's say like 67 or so. Okay.
Do you think HBCUs are important?
I do.
Why?
Um, I think that they give students a sense of identification with who they are. And, students feel that, well, if they can do it, then I can do it. And had an experience that I'm going to share. It wasn't at, particularly at a historically black, at a HBCU college, but my son, during his college years, he worked as a pharmacy technician in a clinic that was all black doctors, owned by all black doctors, and his father was the pharmacist, and he really, became inspired by the fact that, gosh, now these guys look just like me, and we like the same kinds of food, and, our families are alike, and if they can do it, I can do it. And so consequently, he ended up as well going to HBCU medical school at Howard School of Medicine.
How does it make you feel when people look down at TSU or HBCUs in general?
Well, I never even considered that, but I have heard some negative remarks. And more than anything else, it would be regarding the fact that sometimes, like with getting financial aid out to students in a timely way, and some schools, and I'll have to admit, and yes, TSU included, have had that kind of problem over the years. And, people get kind of upset. Like I was in California, and my son that I just mentioned came to TSU for a couple of semesters, maybe his whole entire freshman year, because his dad wanted him to go to TSU pharmacy school. And man, we had a very rough time with getting, his financial aid business done on time, and that kind of problem was really a problem during that time because I was a single parent. We needed the financial aid. We just did not have the option of waiting until you know it was finally dispersed, but there were times when we were in a crunch, financial crunch, because of some of the issues with getting, your money on time. And then, well, I don't know, I think that most black people respect the HBCUs, and I don't know. I really, really don't know, can't speak to the fact of how they are regarded by people of other ethnic groups. I don't
Um, do you have any regrets about college or going to TSU?
know. I don't have any regrets about going to TSU. Um, and of course, I don't have any regrets about, going to college. For me, it was just a thing that I knew all of my growing up days that I would do. There never was a problem, a question about whether I would or not. Um, it was just a thing that was understood that I would. Um, anyway, and no regrets with choosing TSU. Had a really, really great time, and some of my best friends still are people that I met then and have been in touch with all through the years. So, no regrets. It was a really great experience.
Thank you for letting me interview you.
All
It
right.
was very nice. I got all of my questions.
Okay. All right. You want to shake? Okay.